to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcasts are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. The gang is all here, guys. Feels good to be back. I'd love a little bit of honesty from each of you now. Scale of 1 to 10. How much did you
10.
miss me last week?
Oh,
you were gone?
Oh, your answer is 10. Your answer is N. All right.
well, I showed. Well, I had a problem because I was so sad about it. I showed up late last week because I'm like, I just can't do it. And then
I realized, Brian, I pay him way too much, and he went on like an oceanside vacation.
The Michigan Ocean.
Showing up
like
Shooter McGavin, by the way.
Yeah, Brian, you didn't miss much.
I listened. I listened when I got back to land. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
A whole
yeah. Yeah. No, it was fine and dandy, I would have to say. I felt it was the Kevin and Jason show for a while, and Joe pops up and you guys rocked and rolled, but it's all good. We're all back together. Feel in a good place. I was glad though. I was a little surprised that you guys didn't have sources reporting about my whereabouts, like Kevin the week prior.
Nah, nobody cared. Again, we didn't even know you were gone until like Joe gone. He goes, "Where's Brian?" Yeah, so it's all good, man. We're glad you're back.
Thank you.
And
I'm more glad, apparently.
Yeah,
apparently.
You gave it a 10. I love it. It wasn't just a Ty Dillinger reference.
Yeah.
All right, but yes, guys, we have lots to cover this week, as well as we're going to be doing later on I guess I would say, as of now, preview and predictions for WrestleMania. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But first,
change.
Yes. I, along with the rest of the wrestling world, just been buzzing over this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Saw plenty of feedback online. Best Raw in a decade. Best Raw in 20 years. Best ending ever. Guys, there's so much that happened. And here we are now. We're just over a week away from WrestleMania. Take it wherever you want. Give me your thoughts on this past week's Monday Night Raw.
I loved it. Beginning to end. Like, they definitely know how to sell their biggest event. Everything. There's only one thing that did not work for me in the entire episode. One thing. But even that was okay. The only thing that was just okay to me was the Sami Zayn segment, his match. That was the only one that was just like, eh. But everything else I loved. I even loved the Andrade match, establishing him as being a big deal, which is like he wasn't before he left. So beginning to end, I was a huge fan of this Raw. Was it the best in a decade? I'm expecting greatness every week from them now. The T-shirt sale worked.
That's a reference from a while back, friends. Yeah,
we know.
That's if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. The T-shirt and everyone who bought a shirt, you're welcome.
See, I liked, and we don't want to spend too much time on this, but I liked that Bronson won, because when I saw that was the match, I went, Sammy's winning that one, of course. He's going on to face Gunther at Mania. And the fact that Bronson won completely clean, essentially, other than Gunther coming on the ramp, I was like, that's cool. That's unexpected. I need to be more invested.
I felt Raw was little appetizers, right? And then there was main courses, but everything was fantastic from start to finish. 3 hours went by fast. So fast. And when that match, when Jay won, I think it was like 5-6 minutes left, you're like, okay, something's good going to happen. Something's good going to happen. Yeah. And then we see the absolute ass whipping. And when I say main courses, I'm talking the ending. And the Jay Nakamura match was great. I tied that right in with that last segment, right? Because it was continuous, because it just didn't stop. But the Punk, Rollins, Drew, the other main course of the night.
Oh yeah.
I was popping on everything that everyone said. And it was like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Especially
do you want to
Drew.
know what's on my mind? Nope. Like just even the
That was good. That was good.
the little
That was good.
the little tiny
Nope.
things like that, one word, and then Drew's,
Yeah.
the rehab comment and PG brother when Punk says dipshits. Like I love the entire thing, and I'm gonna guarantee 3 of the 4 of us really loved it, and I have a feeling Jay's gonna give his critique on it, but he can go last. I just loved it. Honestly, everyone got their zingers. I think Seth is just
Yeah.
watered down because he's in so many different programs with so many different people. That's the thing with him. He still was great, but Drew and
Totally
Punk,
agree with you on that one, Kevin.
oh baby, love
You
it.
Seth being in
know,
every event is kind of watering him down to the point where it's like he doesn't matter in any of his feuds right now.
Well, I get confused because he's almost somewhat heelish with Punk, right? But then he's kind of on the babyface side with Cody against the Bloodline. So I get confused who I'm looking at. That's the biggest thing because I want to
No,
get
Drew
behind.
is there to be the heel.
Oh, I believe
Seth
me.
is there for the tweener of that triangle.
Well,
well, it had
tweener
to be in
versus-
Chicago.
like,
Correct.
but
Correct.
I mean, do you want to hear what I have to say?
Nope.
Nope.
Come on, someone should have said it. Jason,
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in you.
The man in the corner. He's been awfully quiet, and I've got a lot of thoughts, but I want to go to him now because this will be good.
So Monday was kind of weird for me. Lots of ups and lots of downs. Officially sold my house in LA, so I am now to be addressed as the $1,000,000,000 man moving forward.
Official.
It's official.
Yeah.
As far as Raw, I made it pretty obvious last week when I said that this Dwayne Johnson run has made me stop listening to wrestling podcasts.
Yes, you did say that.
This week, what I have listened to, a couple back episodes of Franchise University, doesn't really talk about new stuff. 2 episodes of Something to Wrestle With. One of them is when Bruce and Conrad talked about old masked wrestlers, which was awesome. A great conversation. I listened to the Masked Man show, part of the Ringer Wrestling group, because they did something a little different this week where they talked about who you would like to have beers with at WrestleMania, whether it was the staff at the Ringer, wrestlers itself. It was a really cool and different type of wrestling podcast. I listened to Talk is Jericho because Jacoby Shaddix from my favorite band, Papa Roach, was on to talk about Last Resort hitting 1 billion streams.
Wow.
Which is amazing. A song that's almost 26 years old.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's almost
And then
as many as a gazillion.
And then I got to Monday night. The E in WWE Monday stood for edible.
Oh, is that kind of night?
It was that kind of night.
Mm.
I hated the ending. Absolutely hated it. Because it's not fun and it doesn't make much sense when only one person gets to play in the Attitude Era. And don't say Seth, Drew, and Punk were in the Attitude Era because they weren't. They were on the bullet point promo era. They weren't given a script. That's not Attitude Era. But the stuff that Dwayne did, now I got to admit, I loved the surprise factor. You guys know if you've been listening to this show, I love wrestling surprises. Wrestling is better when it has surprises. So Dwayne just showing up is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And even better, he didn't say a word. I love that part.
I'm glad you said that because I thought if there's anything that you're going to take away, because you were saying about, oh, you talked for 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm like, that was the complete opposite. And I hoped you enjoyed that. That's great.
So then, of course, what did he whisper? Our social team had fun with it. They hit a quote from the first Fast and Furious movie about Hector buying all these parts. If you know Fast and Furious, the first one, where Dom finds Brian, attacks Brian before he knows, that he's a cop and all this stuff. The line about Hector, you know it if you know it, and if you don't know it, go back to the first Fast and the Furious movie.
I heard what made the cutting room floor was. I heard you can't get a boner. That's
No, it was actually the cutting room floor was this. And then apparently it was, I'm going to make you bleed.
yes.
But did you lose me?
We couldn't hear that.
We didn't hear the.
What hit the cutting room floor was silence.
Yeah.
Basically what The Rock said.
It was still cut officially.
Really?
No drops.
Yeah.
Are you hearing this?
Nope.
Negative.
Anyway, I guess
That son of a bitch, Dwayne.
he's fucking up my
Yep.
He took over your board.
Yep, it's
What is
property of
it?
TKO now.
Yo,
Ain't
you're
it?
cool.
Can I
Just
say
kidding. You
except
suck.
you're welcome?
God damn it! God damn it! Anyway,
That's all for this week, friends. Yeah.
I did enjoy the three-way
Yeah.
promo, but what I didn't like was
Yeah.
Punk overacting. The Snow Angels, shit like that. Come on, man. Come on,
Banging
man.
his head on the microphone when Seth's music hit. Okay.
And the fact
all right.
that, Drew is saying, well, why don't you become a commentator? No, like, just shut up, man. You're the challenger. And even though you are making a lot of sense these days, Drew doesn't get to dictate. Seth
Punk
technically
pointed
gets
that
to
out.
dictate.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Jason, Punk had to act that way because he reminded me of the class clown. He's showing off for his friends in the class. So he over exaggerated everything because they were feeding him. So that's why he was doing the bang in the head or nope or anything like that. It's like that's who he was because he was in front of his crowd.
Why couldn't you have stayed on vacation one more day? Seriously.
Shit, I was at home and I loved it. So
I don't know, man. I didn't love it. And I know I'm in
Yeah.
the minority and I just can't handle wrestling podcasts anymore. I can't handle the
Thank you
internet
for listening to that
anymore.
wrestling podcast. Find us on YouTube.
I'm not coming back next week. I'm telling
Yeah.
you guys now. I can't be on this show the week of WrestleMania with all the other idiot wrestling podcasters thinking they know everything and they know what's right. I just can't. So
wait, so you don't know everything?
I've never said I know everything
Okay.
Or anything.
or anything.
Or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't
I
have
am
the board
just
today, so we can say
over
what
it.
we want.
I
Yeah,
am
is there-
over it.
Are there three things you can say in not going into detail? Three good things you can say about Raw? Well, two additional. You said you kind of like the
Well,
Punk.
I like Dwayne's surprise.
Yeah. Surprise. The whisper.
I like that Sammy lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Becky Rhea
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
promo
Thank you.
wasn't necessarily about what was said or the punch to Dom, which I think was a real punch.
Oh my God.
It was a
Connected.
sucker.
You saw
See,
his
there
They
was-
replay that and
you
yeah.
can see the skin kind of pop and move.
And it worked because it was a sucker punch. So him falling down didn't make him look weak. It looked like, I can't believe I got hit. It was more of a surprise.
Yeah.
Well, Tom's a
But-
little. He's not a little guy, but like Becky's.
No,
gonna go
I'm so
all
glad
day.
that glad that you mentioned Rhea and Becky
Well,
because
but
they have been lacking.
Well, the one thing that stands out the most, there was a moment, and Joe, you might be able to attest to this because you're around kids and you're a teacher. I can't quite remember what it was, but Rhea said something, and I don't think it was about the kid. Becky said something, and Rhea just had this look on her face like she knew she got caught, Joe. And I know you have to know what I'm talking about. Like just that look of, so like, yeah, the promo was great. And I did find out today, another non-wrestling podcast that Rhea just happened to be on was Impulsive. In high school, her nickname was the Nutcracker
Yes.
because she beat
mentioned-
guys' ass in high school. So those are my three things I did like. But overall, I need a break from this shit. I'm not going to WrestleMania. I need a break
That's a
from
shoot.
podcasts. I need a break from this podcast. So I'm here tonight. That's the reason why we're doing our WrestleMania picks maybe a little early.
Mhm.
Card subject to change, of course.
Car
And
subject
yeah,
to
man,
change.
that's
Yeah.
it.
No, I hear you. I wonder if, and you guys can speak on this too, and I don't know if it would change anything. The one critique I'm seeing about everything Rock Cody is, where is Roman Reigns? Like, it feels like everything is so Cody Rock focused. And would it have been too much for Roman to be out there by like Cody's bus, just looking on, like, yeah, you know?
You know,
And it feels
I thought
Like
about
I
that,
called the
Brian.
shots type thing.
He's
yeah,
the head of the table. He doesn't have to
Nope.
be on the battlefield. His pawns and his soldiers are taking care of it.
Okay. I
Like,
hadn't thought of it
he
like
is
that.
in the background. That's true. But this isn't checkers. This is chess.
Right.
He's
And
a king. He's being protected by the pawns, Jimmy and Solo, and basically the Rock, who would be the I can't call him the Queen. I can call him the Bishop, because that was his character.
It's funny because
in Red Notice.
final boss is the moniker, but he, in theory, it's Roman above, right? He's acknowledged as tribal chief. So I don't know. It's semantics, but yeah.
Real quick, one last thing. Brian and I are on a text thread with Barbara Ryan, and I think it was that thread. I don't know, but Brian said, "Well, how the hell do they follow that up next week?"
That's what I said.
Joe, Kev, do you have any idea of how they or what you think they're going to do? Because Roman and Dwayne are going to be in Brooklyn Monday night for Raw. What do you think is going to happen?
That's where it gets tricky. Because
Roman's going to punt Pharaoh into the third round.
Well, no. Does Cody shoot his shot before WrestleMania?
I feel like he did on Friday on SmackDown.
Well, it's kind of going back and forth. Like, Rock did his music, Cody went at him with a good promo. Then Rock gets him, then Cody with backup on SmackDown. It's back and forth. So it's like, okay, Rock did that. Does he retaliate again? Or does he play it cool and then go crazy at WrestleMania night one? I don't know. Tonight's going to be awesome. Something's got to happen on SmackDown. It can't wait till Raw. It's got to be on. If something's not going to happen on SmackDown, I don't want something to happen on Raw. If SmackDown is chill or calm, save it all to Mania. But then on the other flip side, maybe I want Cody to make Dwayne bleed heavy and then put his blood on Cody's weight belt or something, you know what I mean? In the same type of situation that he did. It's up in the air. They have so many opportunities coming off that Raw. SmackDown's got to be hot.
Joe?
I really liked what happened last Friday on SmackDown when it was just those two talking, setting up the trust promo. Do you trust everyone who's involved? And then having each guy have their soldiers come out from the crowd or backstage. I'd like to see more of that on Monday to be like the final confrontation, along the ways of like maybe having Mama Rhodes be at ringside watching. Because they keep mentioning her, she's going to be there.
She's got to be at least.
She's got to be there.
Yeah,
she'll be there.
We met her at SummerSlam, so she's a great lady. So
I know. Now I'm regretting not getting a picture with Mama Rhodes. She's become like the central figure in this whole Rock Cody thing.
Well, I have our video of our conversation with her. I haven't posted it or anything, but like that whole time we were there, the GoPro was going the whole time.
That's right. I forgot about
it. But I would like to see. I mean, you know what? Have some fun with it. Do the contract signing and have all the players there and end Raw that way.
Have both of their moms there.
Ooh.
Mama Rock?
Because in hour one,
Mama Reigns,
they're going to kill Pharaoh. And then in hour three, they're going to serve him Hawaiian barbecue style. And I'm kidding. That's tongue in cheek. Don't be animal
cooker.
We love dogs.
Get up my ass. It's a joke. Yeah. I'm done.
We're gonna get into something in a minute that's gonna encompass kind of how you're feeling, Jay. I think I wanted to point out too. I mean, I loved the last segment. I said this on Twitter. I think the rain added about 10% of the coolness factor in the beatdown. I don't know how The Rock got it to rain in Chicago, but it did. And people have been
because he's a demigod. Did you not know this already?
I did know this. My mistake.
That's actually
my
funny,
mistake.
Joe. You actually said something funny. Nice.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. A lot of people are pointing out Rock is beating down Cody, and there's a big ass production truck looking on with John Cena.
No, stop it.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
John
acting
Cena
like people put
and Stone Cold.
And Stone Cold.
Are you
Two of the Rock's biggest.
Are you
opponents.
saying that people purposely put promos behind them so they could try to sell something? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying Triple H is the king of the Easter eggs. Yes, I see you're the Wheatley vodka there, Jeff. Yes,
sponsored by WrestleMania.
Sponsored by, yes. So just putting it out there.
I don't know what you're saying right there.
Don't know what it's gonna be, but that there's that. Want to make sure I mention that.
But you never know, because think about this.
Never know when we get to Bloodline Rules. If that's how Night 2 goes.
No, it's true. Because what if Seth's there?
Bring everybody out.
Gets absolutely destroyed. Can't back him up. And then Jimmy.
So you're gonna get a guy who got destroyed by Solo in his last match, and a 55-year-old broken down wrestler be the ones who have their back. Doesn't make sense.
I'd pop for Stone Cold's.
Come on.
Oh yeah, of course. The glass shattering always does, but it doesn't make sense. That was not foreshadowing, guys. You're reaching. You're grasping.
That's why this podcast is recorded. We'll see what happens after WrestleMania. We could go back to the tape.
Well, let me ask you this: would you have
Cena's playing music in Atlantic City because Ricky Stenicki was freaking awesome. Jason, you were right about that.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. So I want him to continue playing in Atlantic City.
Jizz Jams for the win.
Oh my! And quickly on Punk and Drew, the line of you're straight edge, but you spent all your time in rehab.
Loved
it. And then Drew again saying that, I'm the chosen one. And Punk coming back with, who chose you? Who? What's his name? I'm still dying laughing. And you can see, you watch it, and Drew's just smiling like, fuck. I'm not allowed to say it. I loved it. I don't know. I feel like it's an impossibility to say best draw in 10 years. Somebody's got to make the list. It's all subjective. I can't say that.
Did Meltzer make the list?
I haven't seen it.
Top 10 Raws in 50 years?
I haven't seen it if he did. But it was a hell of a show. That I would say. And yeah, I think it's going to be tough to top. All right. So I thought about this with Jason yesterday. As he said, the whole wrestling world is Rock, heel Rock, Hollywood Rock, and everything around it. They're all thumbs up, and Jay is the outlier of going, I'm not feeling it. I don't like it. I can't get into it. So I want to put us all in that same situation because I feel like we've all been there where there's one time, either when it comes to wrestling or maybe just something in life, where you felt like you were on an island, that everybody was thinking one way about something, and you all by your lonesome felt the other way.
I have two.
All right, go ahead, my friend. This was inspired by you, please.
One, I loved Jinder Mahal as champion.
That's not a bad one.
And two, Brian is the only person I know that loves the Planet of the Apes movies.
I love the Planet of the Apes.
Kevin likes them.
There's
Fun fact, I have the whole box collection of the original series.
The Charleston Heston ones?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Cancel our WrestleMania plans. It's Planet of the Apes marathon.
Those are my two, obviously, other than this Dwayne thing. But I love Jinder Mahal's champ because nobody saw it coming. Yeah. Surprises make wrestling better. Yeah. Those are the only ones I could really think of.
That's good, though.
I'm obviously not in the right mindset for any of this.
I always go back to my love for Conan in high school.
Yeah.
I still to this day have never met a person live that's breathing that also bought a Conan shirt back in the
Live
day.
that's
So,
breathing.
Oh, that one. I thought you meant Conan the Barbarian or Conan
No.
O'Brien. I'm like,
the wolf,
No,
the
K-Dog Conan.
the K-Dog shirt with like the animated paws, and he's in the back, and it's like the dog house, and he's
yeah.
I think that's fair because I think people liked Conan. They
Yeah.
liked his Arriba La Raza
Odele.
promo. Yeah, all people like that.
Viva la raza.
well. The best thing
I also
is,
don't know anybody who was.
well, the
all
best
in
thing
on
is, first World War III, a lot of merch I'm sure was selling out. I walk
Mhm.
up in a long ass line. You got that large Conan? No problem buying the shirt.
To open up a whole box.
Yeah.
No one's bought it.
You give us $50, we'll give you 10 of them.
Yeah. Joe, what do you got one on this topic here?
Well, if we're not one thing non-wrestling or two things non-wrestling that I liked that I know no one else did, but I don't care. I enjoyed Terminator Genesis. The
I prefer
fifth one.
Terminator.
The fifth one. No. It doesn't mean that I didn't. It doesn't mean I think they're better than the other ones. But I liked the fifth one when Arnold came back, where they messed up the whole timeline. I was entertained by it. I don't like anything by the Rolling Stones. I don't know why. I just don't. Like they just bore me, and they've been going on for too long. And it's getting heated in here. Is there anything else that people love that I don't get? I don't know. Anything that people love that I just don't understand. Maybe there is. The Queen. I don't get it.
The Queen.
I never will. Sorry.
What's funny is, isn't Cincinnati the Queen City?
I think
I'm
that
not
is
anywhere
its nickname,
near Cincinnati. I'm closer to Detroit.
Nasty.
Closer to
No, because
Cleveland.
she said she's from the Queen City. Isn't that Cincinnati?
No, it's Charlotte.
That's Charlotte.
Is Charlotte the
Carolina.
Queen City?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just a nickname, but I didn't think Charlotte was actually the Queen City.
Yeah. So basically, Terminator Genesis, not a bad flick. Rolling Stones, not into, and I don't get Charlotte. Never will.
Brian, do you have any?
Yeah.
Wait.
I went on mute and I asked Alexa, the official Queen City in the United States is Cincinnati, Ohio.
I'm seeing that too.
Suck it, all of you. I wish I had a button. I'm right.
This is a topic. I went on Google. Charlotte versus Cincinnati, which is the real Queen City. This sounds like WrestleMania Night 3 to me.
Call
Jay's
me
just
the king.
skeeting all over now.
More proof Charlotte is overrated.
Hey, my name.
Cincy.
Jason.
Mine would be, I've expressed this on the pod before. I was not a fan of the fucking NWO Wolf Pack.
But Conan K-Dog was part of the Wolf Pack. Kevin, you okay?
I know. We're gonna brawl here. Yeah, no, I get that they, it was all the same players of Hall and Nash, but then Luger was in there, Sting was. It was just like, what are we doing? Yeah, Macho. It always.
Luger.
Luger. To me, it came off as a complete knockoff and against anything that I enjoyed of the original NWO. And I know a lot of people liked it all. The theme music was catchy, and people like doing the fucking two sweets and everything else. But that was one I was like, man, I'm sorry, I'm black and white. I was for life with the black and white NWO. I wasn't going to the Wolf Packs. That's mine.
You want a part of that pack?
No, no.
Forever.
Was that what they did?
Yeah, because that's what K-Dog said. Like, NWO Hollywood's for life, but we're the Wolfpack, and we're forever.
Good memory.
Bowdy.
All right. Well, I think those are.
That's it. You just said Wolfpack. Is there anything else, or was that just it?
Yeah, your music one got me thinking a little bit. But I think I've grown to like go beyond that. Like I think back in the day, I would have said Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, they're still top 10 worst in my eyes.
A lot of people hate Dave Matthews Band.
They can go ants marching off a cliff for all I care.
What would you say if I said that Dave Matthews Band was hated by more people than liked?
Don't cry for the big one.
Are we doing this?
You a monkey on a string. Yeah. So no,
I
was
that
never.
segment just crashed.
Into me. I was never a fan. I didn't like hate them, but I never understood. Like Jay, they would play Three River Stadium.
I was there in 2000.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like this ain't AC/DC, this ain't Pearl Jam, this ain't Guns N' Roses, whoever you want to name. I was like, I don't get it. But okay, hi, here I am later. A Dave Matthews song is my wedding song with my wife, right? So I can't hate them that much. I just never got into them like others did.
So that concert in 2000 at Three River Stadium, Brian, I was there. I was my internship. And I didn't know anything about Dave Matthews, but it was fun. It also rained that day, which I think is what made it even more fun. But over the years, I have seen them, and I got the vinyl. Like, to me, I like listening to them, but the shows aren't for me because they do like 25-minute jam sessions.
Right.
But like the Dave Matthews fans are the most loyal that you will ever find. So
they have a guy.
I get it. They're not for everybody. Like if I'm driving at night, I'll throw them on. Just be like on Sirius XM. They have their own channel. And what I like about them, they're kind of like Pearl Jam in a sense, and Metallica even. They record all their shows, and then you can, then they eventually will release them in like a box set or a vinyl, like. And even, download, like digital downloads and stuff. Like I've got a bunch of live shows, some that I've been to, because I just say that's just a cool thing. Like it's a cool keepsake. So I was at that show and I got the recording of it. But no, I get Dave Matthews Band, not for everybody. Not for everybody.
Yeah, it's good nighttime driving. Yeah, like you said.
No, I think
he wakes up in the morning. Okay.
For a guy that hates Dave Matthews, a lot of their lyrics.
Ryan, you're sus, man.
It's all up here.
It's all up here. Yeah, sus indeed.
Shit.
The Sus Matthews Band right there.
I'm sorry. Kev, add something, please.
Yeah, I have a very unpopular opinion. Ryan sucks.
Who, me?
I'm just kidding.
That is unpopular. People love me. They think I'm hilarious and ruggedly handsome.
Don't go too far.
No one thinks that. Where's my wife? Call her up here.
Are you reaching for a satellite?
She's right up above us. In my all right.
Kevin,
by the way, I got no other songs. I have no.
Bartender's a fun one. I like Bartender. Dancing Nancy's. I think that's
another beer.
Yeah, he did a show in Chicago, and it was they released
dumped all over the river from its bus.
No, they James Brown came out and played with the Dave Matthews Band. I love James Brown.
Hell yeah, that's wild.
So yeah.
All right, well, there's still few and far between, thankfully. But good example.
Isn't that a record too? Few and far between.
There's the space between. I remember that song.
Wow,
that's an old Star 100.7 song. I'd back in the night. All right, so let's move it on. This one I thought was just such a out of left field one. Jeff Jarrett, of course, he's got his My World with Jeff Jarrett podcast, and he was asked about if there's a chance to see the Undertaker gimmick being reused by another talent in the future, and he is of the belief that it's almost a guarantee. He basically says how this is a very common thing in Mexican wrestling, where the character moves on to somebody else and they just continue on. And he's saying that I think that would be a great idea. He'd love to see how Triple H could pull it off. But yeah, it's for me, I thought, what in the hell? Like, how can you pull this off without the actual Undertaker? We already saw a fake Undertaker back in the day.
So when I saw this,
Jeff Jarrett, though, whether you think of whatever, the dude is a wrestling, genius and knows the business in and out. So I think you have to take this with a grain of salt.
When I saw this on the rundown, I started laughing because My World was another one of the non-current wrestling podcasts that I've listened to this week. And I heard that. I was like, wow, that's interesting. I don't know if The Undertaker per se could work, but I bet you Kane could have worked if they never took the mask off Kane. Of course, we had Sin Cara Blue and Sin Cara Black back in the day. So like in Mexico, yeah, they're masked wrestlers and they could easily pull that stuff off. So Undertaker, though, I just feel like that is a little too it'd be a little too hard to pull off. I mean, originally he was supposed to be Kane the Undertaker was his first name. So
I agree with you 100% because I'll say 80% of the Undertaker's personality. When you're not talking, you're still doing things. When you're looking at him with the big eyes or the eyes rolling back, I don't know. But I thought of one similar to like Sin Cara or of Kane without the mask, like when Matt Bloom was Doink back in the day, and then there was the second Doink.
Lots of Doinks.
Growing up, I didn't know there was different Doinks. That's the thing. So it's like that character. So it's like those type of things. I would love to if Triple H can make it work and get 40-plus-year-old guys interested in it and make it work somehow. Triple H is the man to do it. I don't think it's possible though. That's the tricky thing. Unless he wore like the Phantom of the Opera mask, or I don't know.
Oh yeah. What do you think, Joe?
If we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it. Do you not remember fake Kane and fake Diesel? How did that go over?
Razor.
Oh, speaking
fake
of
Razor
Kane,
Ramon.
Fake Kane
What's up,
was
Glenn Jacobs?
Kane was Glenn Jacobs was he? But did we not remember that?
No,
we don't. It can't be done. Mark Callaway is the Undertaker. Period. You can't redo it. Yeah. You try to make supernatural characters. They tried to make Bray Wyatt this generation's Undertaker type character. They can continue trying to do that. But Jeff Jarrett, brilliant mind. This one, I think he's just trying to get some clicks. And it's a matter of and get his headlines out there and to get idiot podcasts like us that Jason is banning next week to talk about it.
You think Monster Jam
can't be done.
Owns the trademark to Grave Digger? Is Triple H going to bring Grave Digger?
If it makes dollars, it makes sense, Kevin.
The only thing that worked out was like, okay, we're talking about Mexican wrestling. The only one that worked out recently was the bringing back the LWO.
But is it really working out now?
Well, it worked out when it came out, and like it's still around, isn't it? It lasted longer than what the B Team, the Outcasts. What other factions?
The B Team was basically
the League of Nations.
Love the League of Nations. Love those guys.
Retribution.
Oh, hater.
No, I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying, like,
right.
Oh, Jay, that could have been yours. You were on the island. You loved.
Oh yeah, you were the
Retribution.
You and T-Bar chilling on the island having a Corona.
Me, Mace, T-Bar, Reckoning.
Oh, Jason, another one that you love that most people did not. Maximum Male Models.
Oh, I love those guys.
Oh my god.
God damn. I don't know if this makes me a good fan or a bad fan.
It's a good fan.
There's got to be more. Come on.
You don't have to go with the crowd. Like what you like. That's what wrestling's fun, man.
Yeah.
Don't hinder gender, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Another wrestling one back in the day. I liked the Union.
Oh God.
The Union was Mick Foley, Test, Ken Shamrock. Who else was it? Big Show. Yeah. When they were going against Shane McMahon and the corporation.
Oh, I get it.
You ought to respect us, son. Also known as Up Yours. Union of People you ought to respect, son. Up Yours is what their motto was.
That's
they
that
weren't all
3 weeks. It was 3 weeks, but I liked it. And they had 2x4s for some reason.
Was that the best Raw of all time?
It was the greatest Raw
Nope.
ever.
Was it raining outside?
And that's what made it the Union 10% cooler, in my opinion.
So,
But that's what people were saying.
yeah,
You know, they were like, "This is the best show since the Attitude Era," and then you can pull up the goddamn Union and go, "Well, it wasn't all great."
Hey, hater.
Just saying, Joe.
and you know
That
what?
was 3 weeks of greatness.
My final take on Raw, because we're about to have our guest picker jump on here in a minute. I don't know if maybe it's my age that I don't want to see the Attitude Era anymore. I like WWE the way that it is. I don't need blood and guts. And if I want that, I can go watch GCW, which I did over the weekend. And honestly, that ending felt like an AEW ending.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's valid. And I would just say that I think that, you know, if they're doing that sort of thing week after week after week, it's going to lose its value. It's going to lose its appeal. So that was a one-time special thing. You know, I'm still thinking big picture as far as just here we are in 2024 and we're getting heel Rock. Never thought I'd see that again. And just again, you know, this is my marking out. Shout out to the production. There's such a cool shot of when the Rock's music hit and Cody's standing in the ring and the shot's behind him, so you see Cody's back and Rock comes out and you know he's got his Thanos Black Adam lightning bolts looking like the final boss, and I'm like, God damn, this is fun.
I also partially think the reason why Raw felt awesome, the entrance was smaller, the crowd was very large, very loud. It felt like almost like an intimate like house show, but with a massive crowd, like with the entrance, because it was so compacted, because they have the ability to sell the seats.
And sorry, Punk, Chicago's not going to get another WrestleMania. They're outdoor stadiums now. I mean, they're reaching with Philadelphia, but Chicago in April, no.
They'll need a new Soldier Field.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's in the works or not. I always hear rumblings about that, but
there's always rumblings about that. But
I don't know, man. I have so much more to bitch about, but our guest is he's almost here. There we are. What's up, Greg?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Oh, what's up, Greg?
Dude, he's representing former Tigers first base coach Andy Van Slyke in the background. All right.
I thought you were talking about Charlie Bombay right there.
Charlie Conway.
Or Conway, not Bombay.
It's Gordon Bombay. He didn't get adopted.
Got that Bombay Sapphire on the brain, Kev.
So
1992 heroes in the background.
Yeah.
Charlie Conway and Andy Van Slyke.
What a year.
Greg is a guy that I work with in the sanitation department, and he's also somebody brought up Monster Jam earlier. He is Monster Jam's #1 fan, and this is Greg and I we started working together this year when I moved back to town, and we were talking about concerts, and this is a real stat. We don't work in sanitation, but Greg's been Greg has been to over 100 Pearl Jam concerts.
Wow.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. I got introduced to them by my brother-in-law in 91, went to the first Lollapalooza that they were at, and have been hooked ever since then. And much to my wife's dismay, has let me go to a number of concerts, most of them by myself. She's been to a number, but she's had her fill of Pearl Jam shows, so I go by myself most of the time.
So Greg,
I have to hear Better Man one more time, Greg. I'm out of here.
Greg,
and don't call me daughter.
We were talking about things that you like that other people don't. Like, I'm not loving this Dwayne situation. Brian doesn't like the Dave Matthews Band. Joe doesn't like the Rolling Stones. And I don't remember what Kevin's thing was, but is there something
he was a like. I'm just Conan, yeah.
Oh,
Kevin likes Conan.
He likes Conan, the wrestler.
Okay, I don't follow AAA or anything.
Yeah. So, Greg, you got anything like that you were super into that really nobody else was?
None of my friends like Pearl Jam. It's hilarious. Like my two best friends that I've grown up with since we were 6 years old, and we've done everything together. they've never been to a Pearl Jam concert. So
They were Nirvana. They were Nirvana guys.
no, I'm going to embarrass them because they're going to watch this, but they are huge Nickelback fans.
Oh,
I
hey
need
now.
to meet
Jason's
these
okay with
guys. I
that.
love Nickelback.
Jason,
Yeah.
that's another one for you.
Yeah,
You like
another one for me.
Nickelback.
But
Boy, oh boy.
Greg is here this week. He is our guest picker. Like I said, I'm done with wrestling podcasts. I'm done with all of this shit. I'm not on the show next week, so we're doing our picks this week. Greg is our picker for this week, so we're gonna pick the matches that are known as of what is today? Friday the 29th. So of course we have SmackDown tonight. We have Raw on Monday, and then SmackDown next Friday night. So more matches could be added. But for now, these are the matches we have. Kevin, how many do we have officially announced? Do you have a number?
There's
I'm
officially
seeing
10.
8.
There's
Okay.
10,
Okay.
but the ladder match, there's
That's
still
right.
2 teams TBD.
So
So
we'll leave that one out.
tonight we're gonna do 9.
Yeah,
We won't do the tag match. So
that works.
I don't know how we want to do this. I forget because it's been a little while since we've had a guest picker. Brian, how do you want to go about
Don't we
it?
Yeah,
usually
well-
let the guests go first?
I like to.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just go round time. It's just like college game day guest picker, Greg. You know how the segment does for ESPN college football. So give your picks, say a couple quick little words, and we'll keep it moving.
Sure.
Let's start with LA Knight and AJ Styles.
I think LA Knight's going to win. I think he needs a little bit more of the rub than AJ does at this point. I liked the segment last week when they had the confrontation, the police were involved. LA's lost a little bit of steam, so I think this will help get it back up. So I think LA Knight wins this one.
All right, go ahead, Jay.
If this was a Mountain Dew pitch black match, another thing that I liked that nobody else did. No, I'm going to go with LA Knight as well. I liked that segment last week where he went to AJ's house, which, what could go wrong when the camera crew is there, So I'll go with LA Knight.
Joe?
It's got to be LA Knight. Just like Greg said, he's lost a little bit. This is going to regain it, and AJ can lose at Mania and not be affected by it.
Yeah, I'm also going LA Knight. I think he gets the win. I could see AJ Styles, after the fact, hitting him with some chairs to continue the feud. I'm holding on to my prediction for the year that this is AJ Styles' year for retiring. So I don't think he's going to get a win. But yeah, so let's give it to LA Knight. And Kev, you wrap it up?
We are, what did they say? Lockstep? Is that what the cool
Unanimous?
Chalk.
Unanimous? It's
Chalk is like when you pick the favorites on everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what we're probably going to do.
I just learned that
probably
word.
what we're gonna do.
I just learned that word 3 weeks ago.
LA Knight makes sense on paper with him losing. I feel like you're gonna lose a lot of steam. He needs a high profile match, and he was in SummerSlam, won that Battle Royal. Let him win a make believe filler match in WrestleMania now.
Cool.
All right, LA Knight across the board. It's the brothers battle, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Go ahead, Greg.
I think Jay wins this one. I think that the Bloodline's going to dominate the rest of the weekend, so I think Jimmy gets this one to start off.
All right, little foreshadowing there. Jay?
I think Jimmy needs this. So let's give Jim the win.
Joe?
I'm hoping it's night one, because if it is, it's Jimmy all the way. Night one is going to be all Bloodline.
I think you guys are all on the right path. I'm going Jimmy. I think Jay has the higher profile, so yeah, I think Jimmy needs the win, and I think we can build some more stuff off of that. Jimmy Uso for me. Kev?
I'm going to piggyback off Greg. Right now, the guest picker is 100% correct.
That's true.
So
Kevin, this is our first disagreement then.
I would say it in my brain, it's a coin flip. I do think it's going to be night one, and if it's night one, it's going to leave a lot of story for night two. I feel like Jay could be conflicted somewhat night two, maybe. I think it's going to be more of a mystery if he's going to be conflicted. versus outright losing. But then again, maybe the way I'm speaking, maybe I'm going in my brain. Maybe Jimmy beats him and persuades him back in the bloodline. But I'm going to go with Jay. I'm going with my instant thought.
Okay.
All right. Got a couple different choices.
I'll blame
there.
you, Greg, if you're wrong.
I'd like to thank
Fuck you, Pearl Jam.
I'll never be on again.
Soundgarden was better. I'd like to congratulate everyone for not doing the obvious. I'm picking the Uso to win. So thank you all for not saying that one. I
This is a
appreciate you.
Jeopardy answer.
And Brian, I know you said I'm the higher profile, but it's the cajillion dollar man, not high profile. Thanks.
All right, I've got to work on that.
Yes.
Yeah, I was getting tripped up because I was like, it's Jimmy and Jay, and we're going to Jay for his pick, and Joe. There's all kinds of
Cajillion dollar man. Thank
getting
you.
all kinds of flipped around there.
Greg, that'll make more sense when you watch this back.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to the U.S. title match. It's Logan Paul defending against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a triple threat. I'm really excited for this one, guys. Greg?
I think Logan wins. I think there's some sort of confrontation or mishap between Randy and Kevin, and then Logan takes advantage. I think he's gonna. Hopefully, I would like to see him carried into SummerSlam just to see that reaction in Cleveland.
Bingo.
Good point.
Oh yeah,
Jay?
that's good. Yeah, Logan Paul. Way to go.
Joe?
Logan Paul is champ till Cleveland.
Yeah, he's got the freaking Prime logo on the ring. I can't see him
Love
losing this first time. I think it's gonna be like some sort of
He's
RKO.
got all the cred.
Yeah, I think RKO on the
nice
Owens and Logan like shoves Randy out of the way and gets the sneaky pin to roll with that. But yeah, let's go with Logan for the win there. Kev?
Same.
All right,
Everyone
so we're
great points.
lockstep, chalk, unanimous, whatever we want to say.
Chalk.
Crayons, markers. Yep.
All right. Bailey and Io Sky for women's championship. Go ahead, Greg.
I think this is where there's a women's championship change. I think Bailey wins in this one. I'm a little disappointed. This had like really good build-up, and it seemed to have lost some steam. It's gotten lost in the shuffle with everything else, but I think Bailey wins this one.
Well, you can blame Dwayne for that because I'm blaming him for everything.
Everything.
At this point, I agree with you, Jay, because the same thing with like LA Knight. LA Knight was hot, and the sizzles just kind of turned down from like high heat to like
you put that under the black lights. Shit, be crazy. I think Bailey does win the title. It makes the most sense.
I agree, 100%.
Oh, I guess it's my turn now.
Oh, going out of turn there, Jeff.
I'm gonna go with Bailey as well.
Is somebody writing these down?
I am.
Okay.
Kevin should be.
Captain spreadsheet is got.
I got my spreadsheet going.
Brian, I think you're the only one left.
I am. Yeah, give me some Baileys. Bailey.
Bailey in that big
Let's
old
sweep it. That's it. All right, Becky and Rhea. Lot of media on the rounds. Becky was with Ariel Helwani the other day. I think Rhea's gonna go on Monday. The book is out for Becky. There's a lot happening. We didn't even get to touch on Becky announced on Ariel that her contract's up in 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little subplot there to maybe consider on all this.
But she did also say she's not going anywhere. So
right, yeah.
Whatever it is, what it is.
Yeah.
I think Rhea wins this one. Mommy's on top. I think she's the only winner of the weekend for the Judgment Day as well. I think this will maybe solidify her as the true leader of the Judgment Day when she comes out as the only one still has a championship belt.
All right, Jay.
I think Becky Lynch wins.
Okay.
I'm going
Any
with
reasoning why?
Oh,
she holds her shoulders down for 3.
Okay. The referee counts the 3. It's amazing.
We would have also accepted she has a new book out. Just throwing that out.
I'm going to get that book tomorrow, actually.
Right.
Just as a fine note that no one gives a shit about, I am like 32nd in line and for the audiobook.
You're right.
yeah, no one cares.
No one gives
now?
a shit.
There's a line? What do you mean?
Like there's holds. Like I rent checkout books through the public library. It's not like
I didn't know that's a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't buy them shit.
Well, the
I
public
rent them.
library has been around for like hundreds of years, where you can go and borrow books to read.
Yeah, I don't read. I listen. I don't
You
know.
can listen to them on Spotify.
I
If you pay for Spotify, there are books there.
Don't what do you guys have Spotify? Can I get that password?
Oh, jeez.
God damn it, Kevin.
Greg, you got Spotify? I love monster trucks.
Yeah.
No, fun fact. We are going to Monster Jam in Louisville, Kentucky on Saturday.
It's a great time. And my wife, who works a very corporate white collar job, loves it probably more than my two boys who are 9 and 5. She follows the drivers on Instagram. She knows all of them. It's hilarious. She loves it.
Scooby-Doo's going to be there along with Monster Mutt and Megalodon and Gravedigger and Get Her Done and 5 other people I can't think off the top of my head. Brian, next match, what we got?
Wow.
I haven't even picked yet.
Yeah, hold on.
neither is Brian.
Joe, this is your bye week. You're skipping this match.
No,
This is see, Kevin. This is why you don't host. You don't pay attention to the show.
I put Joe. Who cares? Joe sucks. Wait, no, he doesn't.
Oh wow!
Wait, yes, he does.
Go ahead, Joe.
For the win.
I'm picking Rhea because the
next. I got
person who
Rhea
has
too.
to beat Rhea has to be Liv.
Oh,
The story says
the
Liv
revenge.
has to beat Rhea, so that's why.
Speaking of Liv Morgan, fuck Wrestle Features for stealing our video. You bitches in London, wankers. You fucking wankers. Give us credit for stealing our video. Cocksucker. I don't even know if that's a term in England.
It could mean anything. You're right.
Yeah, it could mean anything over there. It's weird as fuck.
Exactly.
Wrestle Features, cocksuckers.
Hope you choke on your fish and chips.
All right.
I will also go with Rhea. Brian,
he's skipping me.
Next match.
He's skipping me. He's all over the
Brian
place.
still hasn't picked.
I haven't
Kevin,
picked.
stop hosting.
I haven't picked. This is the coin flip for me.
Him.
Coin flip for me. I'm going Rhea though.
I know what match it is.
It's a tough one. Yeah, it's Becky and Rhea. This could be either way. Nothing will surprise me, but I'm going with Rhea Ripley. It's one. I think it's one of those now that I got to see her lose before I could even think about her actually losing.
I've been waiting for this moment for 3.5 minutes. Brian, next match.
Intercontinental Championship, Gunther's never-ending reign versus Sami Zayn. Greg?
I'm still wondering if Chad Gable gets into the mix on this, or somehow he gets inserted into the tag team match. I don't think they leave him off the card. I don't know how they do it. But I still see Gunther retaining no matter what. I like the build that they've had with him, and I don't know if he loses it, what they do with him and who he would challenge if he would go after the world title if Cody wins.
Yeah, there's some sound logic there, Jay. Go ahead.
I'm not sure if there's going to be more people added to this. Bronson Reed beating Sami Zayn, the Chad Gable of it all. I just think Gunther loses. I just don't know to who. So I don't know what you put that as. So I guess we'll just go Sammy because hard subject to change. Right. So
yeah. All right, Joe.
The Ring General will win at WrestleMania again.
I'm still going that way too with Gunther. You guys know I talked maybe 2 weeks ago how I was disappointed that it wasn't a Chad Gable match. And so yeah, there's still something floating around there. Maybe he does get inserted, who knows, and he pulls it out. But as of this date, I see if it's one-on-one, I'm going Gunther.
Kevin?
I agree, and to kind of piggyback off what Greg said, I think Gunther and several other people said he will 100% win, and it's very congested in that big title hunt with Roman Cody. Punk's gonna come back maybe before SummerSlam. We got Seth Drew. What, Gunther's gonna challenge and maybe lose? No. So I'd rather see him win, tally up the days, just build up more and more days and like the Miz had before, never ending Intercontinental tour. Like let him get another. Maybe goes SummerSlam and maybe goes against Gable and loses. But I don't think it's going to happen at Mania. So I'll go Gunther.
All right. I think we're across the board there. Oh, no, Jay did have Sammy. That's true.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. World Heavyweight Championship match. It's Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Greg, this is a lot going on with this one, man.
Yeah, this one I'm a little torn on. I think it'll depend on what happens in the tag team match with Seth and Cody and Brock and Roman. I think that that Drew wins. I'd like to see him win. I think that there's a lot of interesting ways that you can go if Drew wins. So that's why I'm going to go with Drew.
All right. Jay? We're live, pal. I know the soundboard didn't work, but now his
so
mic
mad the
doesn't.
soundboard isn't working.
I bet you can't get a boner.
Yeah.
We
You
make
played
our own
yourself.
fun on this show. Should we skip you, Jay? Should we
come back. Go back
All
around.
right.
Yeah, go
All
back
right.
around.
All right.
Go ahead. I'll allow it. Joe, go ahead. Seth
I'm
and Drew.
gonna pick Drew because there's gonna be some outside interference from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to prove his allegiance
Oh.
to the bloodline. He will cost Seth the match.
That's
Okay.
dumb.
Okay.
You'll love it then because there'll be something more to complain about with Dwayne's return.
Can't handle it.
I'm going to go with Seth retains.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I
Need
inspired
a few
you.
more seconds to that. Yeah.
We've got I didn't mention
going Drew.
CM Punk on commentary on this. You would think there'd be maybe some sort of physicality to a limited degree, maybe with him
You can't get
involved.
physical. It wouldn't make sense.
I don't. You saw he could count. How about the crowd chanting referee, referee? I've never seen that before. That
Because
was
it's Chicago. That's why.
Exactly. So that was an odd one, and he pounded on with his left hand.
And then he apparently told Kathy Kelly he does everything with his left hand.
He did. It was in like the Raw after show, and it was one of those wink, wink, and Kathy just tried not to crack up, and he's cracking up. So having fun. There's also the matter of apparently Drew still doesn't have a new contract.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a coin flip for me. I'll go with Seth. I don't know how it gets there exactly, but let's go with that.
All right, Kevin,
Jeff?
break the tie.
I want this to happen. And it kind of makes logical sense for the night after Raw. I want Drew to win, and I want him to say the following sentence. You spent more time worrying about Dwayne and not worrying about me. And I want Drew to hold up that title.
He's already said that.
Yeah.
Did he?
Every week.
Well, fuck.
Every
Then I
week.
guess I'm just
Something to that effect.
fuck.
What is in that glass, Kevin?
We'll say it again in case you missed.
What
I
in
would
that
like
glass?
for him to come out saying I was the chosen one.
Oh, the E stands for edible. I had 5 of them.
All
Only
right.
one. All you need is one.
So then let's
Dun,
go
dun, 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 dun. All
to
you
your-
need is one.
We're gonna get a trademark copyright from that. Jeff.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's your night one main event. It's Cody and Seth versus Rock and Roman. If Cody and Seth win, there is no bloodline interference. If Rock and Roman win, it's bloodline rules, meaning everyone in the world can interfere. Go ahead, Greg.
I think it's going to be across the board. It's the Rock and Roman win. You don't put that kind of stipulation on the line if you're not going to do it the next night. That's your big selling point. But I do think that Seth is going to have something to do with the team losing, and that could lead to a change in his character, him losing the next night. So I think that there's going to be something that happens there with Seth.
All right. Jay?
Cody and Seth win because regardless of the rules, the bloodline's going to be there. We've seen it.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
There is that. Joe?
Rock Roman win.
I'm also going Rock Roman. I think Rock gets the pin. I think I don't know if it'll be on Cody or Seth. I'm working on that one, but I think Rock gets the pin because that might play into night 2.
I
Kev?
agree.
Yeah.
Period. Done.
All right. So that brings us to the end of night 2. We're going to have 8 hours of wrestling behind us, and we get to this main event of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns.
I think
Right? Who
Cody
walks out of
wins.
WrestleMania the champ? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Cody. I think after last year and the disappointment of him not winning and the fans, and they keep telling you they're building the story, building the story. I don't think they can build it for another year or even another few months to SummerSlam. So I think Cody has to win this one.
Smart man right there.
I'm going last.
Oh,
Of
I
course you
know.
are.
We know. Go ahead, Joe.
Cody has to win. If he does not win, this is the equivalent of Starrcade 97. Sting's botch. That's what this is. This is in a year and a half build.
Mhm.
If they don't finish this the way it's supposed to be finished, they are repeating the past that killed a company. And Rock is going to cause the interference to cause Roman to lose.
Brian, I'll go next. I'm also gonna say Cody's gonna win. Joe and Greg said perfect points. I can't add anything else. Brian, I just want to put the pressure on you. If you say Cody and Roman does win, it's your fault that you didn't agree with Jason because he will have another year of gloating. So I'm
It
just
doesn't
throwing-
matter. He's still going to mention that he picked 39 correctly.
I haven't made my
his
pick yet.
tag man.
That is
though.
true.
I haven't
That is
made my
true.
pick yet, Kevin. You don't know what I'm going to say.
We know what you're gonna say. Brian,
Double disqualification.
Brian,
Yeah, that's the thing. I can, Kev. I remember you and I doing the post WrestleMania podcast.
yeah.
And then Jay, you popped on, walking out of SoFi,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Are we really gonna wait another year for Roman to actually possibly lose?"
That's
I
one of
couldn't
the
believe
best-
it at the time.
That's one of the best promos I ever cut on that after
It
show
was,
last year.
and so here we are. We're a year later. It's about to happen. Cody and Roman 2.
Shucks.
You still have to factor in that there's this Hulk Hogan record reign that's floating out there that they're like, if we can give him a couple more months, we can put that on them and just
September
crown.
the 13th.
Look at
September the 13th.
Man knows.
That's the date.
So that is still out there. But I do have to lean toward what Greg and what Joe had to say, that if not now, when? I just feel like you can't go any farther. The fact that they tried to pull the switcheroo of Rock and Roman, and the fans pulled off this online riot, if you will, the "We Want Cody," that they had to switch it all around, tells me that yes, we have to get it to Cody. So I don't say it with a ton of confidence, but I'm going Cody Rhodes.
You're all wrong. Roman Reigns is going to win. And when he does, if you thought I was bad last year, you have no idea what's about to happen this year.
Brian, mute him.
I can't do it. I can't.
I run this shit.
He's
He's
the
the
final
final
boss.
boss.
$1 man.
Jason,
I'm the big boss.
mute yourself. Mute it.
Man. I'm the big boss. Yeah, so it's going to be Roman.
Just as Jason indicated, he's taking a break from podcasts. If Roman wins, I'll be taking a break from the podcast. No,
Jason,
just playing. I will take my medicine like a man.
Why?
Of course.
Why is this happening?
Why not?
I need more. I need more of an answer.
WWE will sell more Cody shirts if he loses.
I disagree. I think people.
I don't
will
care,
finally,
Joe.
I think people will finally be sick of it and they'll move on to someone else.
Nope.
This is, if he loses, this is Sting 97 all over again.
Yeah, we heard you the first time.
And I'm going to say it again. We heard you the first time a year ago when you picked Roman to win. And we're
Yeah,
going to hear it
was
again
right.
this year. And we're going to hear it
I
next
was
year
right.
and the year after that.
Look, Roman's going to win.
Night
And-
one. Yes, that is
And
correct.
my
We all picked
original,
that, except for
my
you.
original thought was that come SummerSlam, we'll get a fatal four-way.
Who cares?
Cody,
WrestleMania.
Seth, Rock,
who cares?
But
Okay.
Who is that,
this-
Jake? Who are the four?
Roman, Rock, Cody, Seth.
Okay.
Because if Drew does win the title, he'll go off to against Gunther or whomever else. But
Yeah.
I really feel like that would, SummerSlam could use something big. And the last couple SummerSlams have been great. Has there really been anything that big in the 4 years we've went? Not really. This would be huge. This is, the first year under Endeavor, TKO. But the problem with that is now I keep reading that Rock is unavailable from like May 1st to August 1st because I'm guessing that's the live action Moana movie maybe that he's filming. So that doesn't work. But I do think that Roman will win because they do want him to surpass Hogan. And what would be after September? Berlin? Is that the Bash in Berlin?
Yeah, at the end of August, correct.
Maybe Roman lose to Gunther by then. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's the end of August.
Saying, and a lot of people keep saying that they want Roman to beat Hogan. Is it they, or was it Vince that wanted Roman to beat Hogan? We don't know. We're not behind the scenes.
No.
That whole beating Hogan thing sounds like a Vince McMahon.
Look, they beat Punk's record. They beat Demolition's record. They beat AJ Lee's record.
But Hogan doesn't have the record.
He has, I know he's in second.
Bruno has the record.
All right. Give me 8 more years of Roman.
No.
Break the Bruno record.
No.
As a guy in Pittsburgh, I should not be saying
we don't talk about Bruno.
I'm sorry, but we don't talk about Bruno. No.
This is
That's from Encanto.
If it goes on for 8 more years, it's going to be like Cody finishing the Encyclopedia Britannicas.
It's a big fucking book.
It's a never-ending story. That's what it is.
Yes.
But
that's the thing. The story never has to end because until he retires.
No, it can't happen, Jason. I get what you said last year. I hope you're wrong because I may be with Brian and taking a week off, which no one will care. But it's just like it can't happen. It can't happen. It has to be done. Roman Rock is the match that doesn't need the championship that we all want to see.
Nobody wants to see that.
Well, you don't because you're such a you took over the hater of the show when I said I was going to be more positive. You took over all that negativity.
For years, I sat and staring at the entrance ramp at the end of WrestleMania, and I thought he was going to be there, and he never was. So now I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Rock Roman.
The moment's past, you're saying.
I'd rather see the Tooth Fairy 2. Or the game.
Didn't they already make that? Didn't they already make that with Larry?
Multiple teeth. All right, a lot of passion, guys.
Yes.
A lot of passion. All right, Greg. Any final thoughts, Greg? Yeah.
If Roman does win, I'm worried that I'll never be able to work with Jason again.
The sanitation department's
here.
I'm gonna have
losing a man.
Greg, same here.
And move somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We will start. You know what, Greg? If that happens, we will start that other wrestling podcast. We'll let Jason talk to his board by himself, saying I was right.
Wow.
All right. What, Jason?
TOWP.
You big time me at WWE Payback.
Dude, I met you like a week before. I didn't even realize
Jason
it was you for a minute.
We had literally just met at work, and we were both at the same event. And I walked by, and he walked by. I'm like, hey. And he just looked at me. He's like, hey.
And then it took me a second
to...
I just met him a week before.
Wow.
Was I there too? Because I'm sorry.
You were at the seats.
No. It was in the concourse.
Yeah, I went up to get a beer.
Because I was at Payback as well. So it's like, I would never
big time you, Greg.
I'm like, Jason.
I just fucking met you. Come on, man.
He was living that cajillionaire lifestyle even in September when it wasn't official.
No, it's now I'm the cajillion dollar man. So now, but
I understand.
All right.
Didn't big time you at all, Greg. But thank you for jumping on.
No, thanks for having me. It was a good time. I appreciate it, guys.
And when Joe leaves, there'll be a chair here for you, Greg.
No, we're starting our own TOWP and other wrestling podcasts.
WAP.
All right, so we'll continue in some way, shape, or form next week. It's kind of the rest of the WrestleMania card preview and whatever else happens in the world of professional wrestling. It's youtube.com/That Wrestling Podcast and at That WrestlePod for all your social media. Whatamaneuver.net for your merchandise. And as always, enjoy wrestling.
You can't do that, Joe. You wanted to lose.
No, this is a scale of 1 to 10 of how much I'm going to miss you next week.
Jesus Christ.
Well, you should have thrown out this.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow @ThatWrestlePod on social media.